Hello and welcome back. If you are new here, my name's Katie. I live in regional Victoria, Australia, and my cat is sneezing. I own a dog grooming salon in regional Victoria. Australia, and I like to make small business finance content. I haven't done that for a couple of months. It is the 20th of October today, and I still haven't even done the August video. So I'm making a 2-for-1 because the last month or so has been insanely busy. Hope that's fine, and if it's not, then I'm sorry. Okay, so this double feature video, let's talk about August first to get into the finances straight away. My total business income for the month was $13,656, and my expenses came to $11,872. So this includes my wages, savings for superannuation and annual leave, and tax. So that left me with a profit of $1,784 or 13%, which is lower than the previous month of July, which was 23%, but it's not bad at all. That's very good. The total last year's profit margin for the whole entire 2024 was 8% with all up and down months combined. So 13% is still very good considering. My goal check-in for August. My goal for August was to hit a $6,000 resting balance in my bank account. It's just a word that I think I made up. I don't know if there's a word for it, but basically, my bank account's here, and then I, earn money throughout the week, and then at the end of the week, I pay all my expenses, and then it goes back down. So whatever it goes back down to is what I'm talking about. So basically, I just wanted to have $6,000 left in the account at the end of the week after all the bills have come out. Did I achieve this by the end of the month? Yes, I did. I didn't think that I did at first. I confused myself because the last payday of the month would have been the 31st, but I paid myself a couple of days early because I had to pay for some flights that were more expensive than I expected them to be. So that threw off my usual Sunday snapshot that I usually get at the end of each week. But when I was checking my bank statement for this video script, I realized that I did actually hit it. So that was good because I thought I didn't. So it's nice to know that I did still achieve that goal. I just didn't look at my bank balance on the 31st, so I didn't know that. Personal check-in for August. Like I've said, it's October, so I don't remember how I felt in August. I do remember that August wasn't insanely busy. I just worked my normal hours and didn't really work too many extra days, I don't think. Because here in Victoria, it's cold in August, it's a time of year where a lot of people stretch out their appointments, or they downgrade the service, or they cancel, they reschedule. So it just wasn't a busy time of year. I did also mention this in my last video, but in August, I reached $7,000 in my bank account. This isn't a resting balance. This is just, it got up to $7,000 at one stage, which is really exciting. I don't remember the last time that happened. It was probably around COVID, because I think we got grants from the government. Well, I know we got grants from the government, but I think that was the last time it was ever that high. Fantastic, very exciting, visual confirmation that the finances are improving every month. Next month, goal setting for August. So setting a goal for September. In August, I was noticing that I've been making these monthly goals, but I hadn't been really setting a realistic plan for how I was going to achieve them. I'd just been setting a goal and just hoping that it would work out. I wanted to be more intentional, so I made my September goal really simple and achievable. I just wanted an easy win because I'm falling behind on making these videos. Even though I really do love making them, I decided that I'd just do a really easy little goal of making a tab in my Finance Master spreadsheet, which is a really ugly but very useful little spreadsheet that I made that tracks all my finances on a weekly basis. I just wanted to add a tab that was weekly check-in. How much did I earn this week? What are my thoughts this week? Now, moving on to the September portion of the video. Boy, howdy September. Oh my God. September sucked. It sucked. For the entire month, I only had 4 days off work, and my longest stretch of work was 12 days straight. I actually did that twice. I did 12 days, had 1 day off, then did another 12 days. I'm actually currently now, 20th of October, I'm in the middle of doing an 11-day stretch. So unfortunately it wasn't a once-off, but I've done it to myself. I'll get into that soon. But anyway, because I worked so much, you would think that I would have brought in a lot of income, right? Well, my income was $13,572, which you might realize is only $100 like less than August. The expenses were $13,499, and so that meant profit for September was a mighty $73. How does that make sense? I just said that I worked a lot of extra hours. It was very stressful. Like, how was it not profitable? I will break it down because it was actually better than it looks on paper. The reason September is low income wise is because I only count what went into and out of my business bank account. And for like the last week of August and then the whole of September, I didn't deposit any of my cash takings. I was tired all the time. I was working so much. I just couldn't be bothered. I should have done it, but I just couldn't be bothered. So yes, the income looks bad, but checking Square actually tells me that the income for September was actually $15,000. So it was about $1,500 more than what I actually had in my bank account. The cash, I did deposit it on like the 1st of October or something. So I'm going to count it towards October. So October's going to look really good. Again, we just sort of balance everything out anyway. As far as expenses go, September was expensive. Holy moly. I just spent a lot of money. There was a lot of things that cropped up. I paid building insurance, which is annual. Obviously, I don't pay that every year. That was $1,760. Not to mention, I got $350 worth of sharpening done. I got a $300 car service. And then unfortunately in September, I did nick a dog that I was working on. So there was a vet bill for that as well. Thankfully, it wasn't a bad injury. The dog was totally fine. The owner was gorgeous about it. But, you know, that's money that I wouldn't have had to have paid. I think it was like $120 or something like that, which again is not a lot, but it's money that I wouldn't have had to spend if I didn't nick the dog. It's just part and parcel of being a dog groomer sometimes. You know, sharp tools, moving animals, accidents happen. It sucks, but thankfully everyone's always been really, really nice about it, and it genuinely doesn't happen that often. I just keep telling myself that even though $73 of profit looks really bad on paper, like it's actually really great that I came out of September with profit at all, considering how many abnormal expenses I had. Instead of being sad about a $73 profit number, I'm just trying to think of how good it would have looked if I deposited the cash takings that month and if I hadn't spent an extra $2,000. It would have looked fantastic. Also, as I was writing this script, I checked how much owner's draw I paid in September. That's the money I pay myself, thinking it would be heaps since I pay myself hourly and I felt like I was working so much. But I actually spent less on owner's draw in September than I did in August. So that means, again, because I work hourly, that I worked less hours than I did in August, even though I only had 4 days off in September and August was really chill. I could not reconcile that. I went back and I figured it out. I worked a lot of extra days in September, but there were quite a few cancellations and things like that. So if someone had 2 dogs at 9 o'clock and they cancelled, I just didn't start till 11. And there was a couple of days like that. I think the 2 weeks in particular, there was 2 weeks that were really bad for cancellations. So I just didn't pay myself for the hours where clients didn't come in because I would just be doing something else. I think I was playing Story of Seasons, Grand Bazaar on the times that my clients cancelled, so I was not going to pay myself for that. Great game, by the way. If you're a Harvest Moon fan like I am, fantastic game. Get it. It's very good. It did suck realizing that I worked the same amount of hours and September just felt incredibly stressful and burnt me out so badly. Obviously, I would have preferred to just work my normal hours, but you know, you can't really tell in advance who's going to cancel or no show or reschedule, but like it's genuinely not a huge deal. I just wish it was more condensed. My goal for September was to make that tab on my spreadsheet, which I did do. Here it is, I guess. It's very helpful now that I'm making the September update video because I can go back and see how I felt. Working so many days sucked, but it also kind of didn't suck as bad as I thought. The days all kind of blended together and it just became like my new routine that every single day was work. So not having a weekend almost was fine because it's like my weekend is every day after work, whereas normally when I get to the end of the week I'm excited, and then when it gets back to Tuesday I'm sad again. I wasn't excited or sad. I just was very, very flat. But I had still been doing my hobbies and seeing my friends when I wasn't working in September, which really helped to combat the burnout. Goal setting for next month, my October goal. For October, I want to lower this barrier, this mental barrier that I have into making videos. One of the biggest barriers is the time investment, especially when I'm already burnt out. It doesn't take especially long to film and edit these videos. The problem is that I film on my phone, and for some reason I can't just plug my phone in and get the footage off and put it on the computer. I have to wait for it to upload to the cloud, which usually takes like 12-ish hours, and then I download it from the cloud, which is another couple of hours. And then I have two computers, because I have my home computer, which I'm at now, and my work computer, and it's sometimes like I've got time, but the footage is on my work computer. Anyway, it's a whole thing, right? So making these YouTube videos is like a 2-day affair at least. It's just super demotivating, like I said, especially when I'm already burnt out. For a while now, I've been wanting to get like an actual video camera to make these videos, but I just couldn't justify the cost if I wasn't gonna stick to making these YouTube videos. But after falling 2 months behind, when for the rest of the year I've been pretty consistent, and with my resting balance climbing higher and higher each month, I think I can justify it now. Even though I can afford to buy it right now, I kind of want to make it a reward rather than an expense in my head. So my October goal is to hit a $7,000 resting balance in my bank account so I can better justify buying this camera. To do this, I figured out that I needed to make an extra $500 over the month while keeping my expenses in check. $500 over an entire month might not sound like much, but I knew that I was going to be away for a week in the middle of the month and I wouldn't be earning any money during that week. Where did I go for a week? It's the 20th of October. I've already been on this trip. I can tell you. I went to Perth for the wrestling. I'm so excited. My nail lady gave me some like little WWE nails. Check them out, they're so cute. I got to see Rhea Ripley, my favorite wrestler. I saw her 4 times. It was fantastic. I had an absolute blast. It was nice to have a little mini break. The weather in Perth was fantastic. I can't ramble enough about how much I enjoyed this trip. Anyway, I did some rough calculations at the start of the month and I was on track for about a $6,500 resting balance by the end of the first week of October, which is why I was like, cool, I just need to earn $500 extra and not lose too much money that week that I'm away. I also decided that if I fell short of this goal, I wasn't going to beat myself up over it and I was just going to buy a camera anyway. I got a notification and it stopped my camera from filming. Anyway, all I was saying is that, like I said, it would be nice to feel like this is a reward rather than an expense, but I will get it either way, as long as nothing insane happens expenses wise, which might happen. Do you want to get sick again, Olaf? Anyway, this video is already way too long. The script I've written is 4 pages long. I'm gonna have October's update video up soon. Well, I'm planning to, hopefully, fingers crossed. And I'm also considering doing like smaller weekly check-ins if I can streamline the filming and uploading process with this new camera that I'm planning to buy. I think that could be really fun. I've also filmed a bunch of like actual dog grooming videos, which I need to edit and upload. I just need to not feel burnt out all the time. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. If you have made it this far through the rambling mess that these videos always are. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions or comments. Like, I reply to every comment I get. Genuinely really like getting comments. I'm always excited to see them pop up. I hope you're all having a wonderful spooky season and I will see you in November. Bye bye.